Right, Dylan Adebisi, welcome to UK Fight Site. We had you down here before, but we run into some technical difficulties that we couldn't avoid. So it's good to get you back because we've got a lot to go into. There's a lot of movement behind the scenes with your career now. So like before we get into everything, just to kind of find out about your background and your amateur career. The big news is that you're ready to join the pro ranks.
Yeah, it's that time, man. Yeah.
So like tell me about that decision and like why it's the right time for you to like move on from the amateur scene now.
So I wanted to turn pro like about 2 years ago, but I just wanted to, before I done it, I just wanted to, get a bit more experience. People around me were telling me, enter the elites, get a few more bouts, and I just felt like it was that time now. So yeah.
Brilliant. So what like goes into like going pro? Like, obviously I imagine that you're gonna have to be looking at, promoters, managers, and more importantly, like professional coaches. So like, what's that process been like for you? What's going into all that now for you to make like all the right moves?
You know what? Yeah, I'll be real. So me, as being a fan of boxing, all I ever looked at was the boxing, the sport. I never really looked at the business side of it. I never really looked at the promoters, the managers, the behind the scenes. All I really paid attention to was the art. So when I'm watching boxing on the pads, I'm not looking at the pad, man. I'm looking at the boxer. I'm looking at his technique. You feel me? So only now that I've gone pro, now I'm looking at who's holding the pads and thinking, right, are they good for me? I'm looking at promotions, considering like what's good for me. So it's all kind of new to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm learning a lot still. Yeah.
And so what like you said that you're learning a lot. So where's that advice coming from? Like who have you like been sitting down talking to like find out if you're going in the right direction and what you need to know in those other fields?
So I'm just having a lot of meetings, different managers, different promoters, and I'm all ears. So I'm just listening, and a lot of them have been, just dropping gems.
Yeah.
I've been doing my own research.
Yeah.
And just, understanding the pro game a bit more.
Yeah.
The business side, as well as the boxing, because it's two different things, it's pro and amateur.
Yeah. So it's a real learning experience for you at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So like it must be a lot to take in when I guess you're looking at contracts or hearing about offers and things like that. So it must be a lot for like a young fighter to take all this in.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw on your social media that you got some work in with John Ryder down at the Matchroom HQ.
Yeah.
Like, what was that experience like, and how was that? I imagine John probably gave you some feedback and some.
Yeah. So I've been watching John for a while. So I rate him as a boxer. So yeah, it was good to train with him. And it was just different. You know what? Every pro coach I train with, they just tell me like, yo, slow down, like, you know what I mean? Because I got that amateur pace. I'm 100 miles an hour. So yeah, they were just giving me a lot of advice, and it was just good seeing how they train up there.
Yeah. What were the I can imagine like their facilities? What was that like? I imagine it's like top range stuff.
Yeah, they got everything you need there.
Yeah. With that, you just mentioned about when you're training with pro coaches, they're talking about slowing down the pace and that. What have you noticed? Like, what are like the differences from like the amateur game? Like now that you're talking to people in the pro?
It's a lot more calculated, I see, in the pro game.
Yeah.
When you're boxing, you're hitting to hurt. With amateur, it's point scoring.
Yeah.
Pro is the knockout game. Yeah. So you're really trying to punish someone, and you've got 12 rounds to break them down. With the amateurs, you might throw a body shot, but you're not really seeing they might survive, 3 rounds.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But if you keep landing that body shot 5-6 rounds, they're not surviving the 12 rounds. So I prefer the pros, to be honest. It's more my style. Like, I'm a fighter, so it suits me more.
Yeah. I also saw that you was in Manchester again, like getting some work in and training up there. How was that experience?
Yeah, I like it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different to London, but you know, it's a good different. So yeah, I was up with Pat Barrett.
Yeah.
So I was training up there with him, and yeah, there's some really good boxers up there. Lyndon Arthur, Zolfa Barrett. Yeah, so.
What was that experience like in the gym? But did you see like other? Obviously, you would have seen that other fighters.
It's my type of gym. That's the type of environment I like. It's not no, you know, polished, fancy gyms. You know, it's not nothing pretty.
Yeah.
You know.
Straight work.
Yeah, it's like a gritty gym. I like gyms like that. You know, all the people there, they're hard workers. I can just tell the vibe there is just. No one gets a free ride there. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it's my type of gym. I like up there.
Any good feedback from Pat? Like any gems that you can share with us that opened your eyes? Like what?
Yeah, I've only met him twice, but both times he's shared a lot. He shared probably like one thing, but it's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, just like correcting me on my jab. Like as a boxer, you know, something like a jab will come win or lose your fight if you got a good jab. So just improving little things, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going back up there.
Like obviously in the UK, like there's a lot of good promoters to to follow, to take your pick of to get in. Like obviously, what promoters are you looking at the moment? Like obviously, I know you've had meetings. Might not be ready to share at the moment, but like from what who you follow and that, like what's the aim? Like where would you like to be?
So the aim, eventually, I want to be, you know, where the big fights are. So where you seeing all the big fights, you're seeing them at Matchroom. You're seeing them with Top Rank. You're seeing them with Boxer. Queensbury. So all of these places,